This video is brought to you by the No Fear community.
Mr. Olli Rehn is a distinguished Finnish politician and currently serving as European Commissioner for Economic and Financial Affairs. Welcome.
Thank you.
Could you briefly tell about your background and recent work?
I'm currently, as you said, the Economic and Monetary Affairs Commissioner of the European Union, and I'm dealing with the Eurozone debt crisis, trying to facilitate its resolution. And of course, my main mission is to enhance sustainable growth and resilient public finances in Europe. I think there is enough work for one man in that field for the moment.
Exactly. The future of Europe is heavily linked with the fact that we need to attract talent from other parts of the globe. What, in your viewpoint, makes Europe appealing enough to attract this young global talent pool?
Europe has both strengths and weaknesses in this regard. Our strength is a relatively strong educational system, and we have many innovative industries in Europe, from automotives to telecoms to biotech, nanotechnologies, and of course to various kinds of services. At the same time, I think we have much to do, of course, depending on the country situation, specific country situations. But we have much to do in order to, say, improve the positive reception of professionals or students from the rest of the world. And this is something that we are focusing on, and we want to improve, certainly, because you are right that Europe has to be able to attract talent from the rest of the world, a bit like Silicon Valley has done and the United States has successfully been able to do.
Yes, right. Your job is one of the most international in Europe. Can you already see the rise of the young PlayStation generation changing the ways of communicating and doing business in Europe? And has that altered somehow your own behavior and the ways you do politics and business?
It has certainly, but I think we should avoid age xenophobia, because I played PlayStation, and I won Stanley Cup in the National Hockey League with Anaheim Mighty Ducks in the PlayStation some 15 years ago.
Okay, wow.
While doing my doctorate.
Congrats.
That was a good way of, let's say, getting the pressures out while you are working and writing a doctoral thesis. More seriously, I think the European landscape has changed dramatically in the past 10 years in this regard, 10 to 15 years. I recall the time when the European Commission started to use email in around mid-1990s, late 90s, in an effective way. And today, of course, we all have our mobile devices of different kind, and I can work online from all over the world, including from here from Helsinki. I'm communicating on an intensive basis with my staff in Brussels, because we are currently trying to solve some relatively important issues in relation to the European debt crisis. This is happening every day, and I think in Europe we have taken big steps in order to become a genuine mobile society. And of course the young people are much more comfortable with these not only devices, but with the culture that it requires. And with them, I think in Europe we will see further development in this regard. And it of course leads to important challenges, for instance, in terms of leadership and management of companies or public sector entities.
Right. Can you specify a little bit what kind of leadership challenges, like how it's going to change the leadership?
I think it's clear that the people, say civil servants, for instance, or employees in the private sector, regardless of their position, they have a much wider flow and stock of information, knowledge. So the information is not so hierarchical as it used to be. It is available to everyone, and that is sometimes a challenge. It's a great strength, and I see it as an advantage mostly. But at the same time, for the managers, it creates some challenges to utilize it, capitalize on it, and not make any problems of it.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
This video is brought to you by the No Fear community.